Okay, if you watched the last video, you'll notice there's two new buildings at the freight depot, one of which is a train works, and one of which is the selling place, which I haven't used yet. It's called the scrapyard. You'll also notice that I have completely changed up this track, the forest camp industry as a whole, and I've added a bunch of buildings everywhere. There are some other tracks which have been changed, such as some tweaks over here, some tweaks, I believe, to this track. Food factory's been changed slightly. The entire slaughterhouse section's been changed, and nothing on the scale of operations, but also the tannery's been changed. But all of the track has been made a lot better. Also, I connected this little bit of track up to here so I could have another through yard, and we are sort of running out of space for cars, so at some point I would like to build a proper yard. But for this episode, we're already 1 minute 20 in. I want to make a short video where I get to spend this 19,144 cash that we currently have to A, try to get to the quarry, and B, if we have any money left, to try to get to the either distillery, ironworks, or brickworks from the sandbar, which we still need to do. So, I have planted my engine, which I have changed in the engine works to a nice, very dark blue, labelled Wrath of the Sloth, and given the company name of Slothco, which is the name of the save. And I'm going to start by making a switch here. For now, the route into the quarry is just going to be a stub track, so we want to take the track out of there faster, and you put the faster track on the straight because you're less likely to derail on it, is something that I have found over time. What is the grade up here? It's about 0.7, which is good. I'm going to place the industry track guide here, and then I am going to grade on, curve on, bridge a little bit out this way, bridge a little bit out this way, track splines. Press T until we get the right node. Connect you, connect you, connect you, connect you, and because we're about to go over this pit, I'm going to turn on trestle spline, go over the pit, make like half a meter of stone embankment, and then switch back to straight track, and then because it seems reasonable, I'm going to, that looks nice, minus 1% grade. And now we should be connected up to the quarry, except for this floating tree, and that tree, which I've now cut down. So the quarry should now be connected, which has taken 3,000 cash away from us, and it's about to take a little bit more there. Track objects, buffers, bam. So now we're at 16,104 cash, which now means that we do have a little bit more budget for flexible industry going to. I am just quickly, out of curiosity, going to check the grade between there is 3%, and between there is 1%. So you go up and then down, which might be worth it. I'm not sure, but we do get to the ironworks, and then we get to the distillery, and I kind of want to get to the distillery at some point. So, even though in several episodes I have said that I want to get to the brickworks soon, for now, like just for now, I'm going to just check what track the engine's on. Okay, so we won't derail if I push it a little bit there. Oh, I didn't even need to do that. So I'm gonna run through this tunnel. Right, I'm not sure which track should be the fast track, but I think maybe going into the tunnel should be. So let's plonk that there and that there. The tunnel is actually about as big of a grade as the ironworks grade is. So let's bring out the planner. Let's place a plan there and a plan there. Let's connect those two nodes up. Let's turn on a spline thingy. Let's go outwards a little bit on this track. I've got building and industry down to an exact science now. It's a shame we can't see the distance that we've placed our track splines so far, because that would be nice and useful for making it uniform. So, in theory, if we just plot this over here, 1.1%, but what does the curve that it would generate look like? Not good, actually. Also, just out of curiosity, what is the grade up here? So, you know what, we could snake all the way around this way, up into here, curve round, and then head down to the distillery. Potentially. So let's get the forest camp set up as an industry as well, if we're going to head this way to make our curves nicer. Plop, and right. There's probably going to be a decent amount of tunnelling to get to this place, but what's the curve look like? That looks like a reasonable enough curve. Let's place it and see how poor we get. We've run out of money. Okay, that's not desirable, although it is sort of expected for the length of tunnel that we've got here. I am back with 20,000 cash, and I am inside the very long tunnel that was dug from the forest camp, and I'm ready to finish it. However, I have concerns that it will take a lot of money. Oh, we still have 11,000 left. Alright, now I want to build from the forest camp to the ironworks, and I did a little bit of planning for this whilst running trains to get us at 20,000. Whilst that directly won't work, we can curve on minus 250, and then it creates a actually positive 250, and it creates a curve that will be smooth enough. But quickly, I just want to check the percent, so we want to be running around minus 1% grade. So I can turn that on. We can run the track to about there. Because something I've found is if you stretch it too far beyond 90 degrees, it don't always work. And I just realised to finish that now, I have to be inside that tunnel. So I'm going to cut whilst I run. Now, something I really wish they would add to this game is the ability to sprint or call a horse over, because it's taking quite a lot of time to just walk anywhere that I want to be. And I get the fact that it's a train game, but it would be nice to have a horse or like a faster sprint. Something I am just realising right now is the fact that we are going through quite a lot of hill, so very big tunnelling cost. Which is going to be a bit annoying to make up for in cash, but shouldn't be horrendous once we actually manage to complete the line to get everything worked out. I have a few route ideas for that iron mine, that coal mine, and that coal mine there, but not concrete plans yet, and they won't be concrete until the brickworks gets connected, and the brickworks is kind of just something that I've been trying to promise to connect to and then never connecting to. So about there makes sense. We're 6 grand now, which is barely anything. Right, will that connect up? Yes. Will I be broke as soon as I hit the left click button? Also yes. Oh, never mind. Okay, this is kind of why I don't like placing big curves. There is that effect. However, I can't complain too much right now because we're poor. Something I did want to do is actually just like place a switch here, but I can't do that now obviously because the whole not having money issue still persists. Although it might match, but for now, even though I don't like that little banana shape, and the fact that I don't have a switch there, we should probably begin the plans to get to the distillery. And I have just noticed that I haven't actually built the distillery industry yet, so let's quickly plonk plonk. I keep thinking I'm going to run out of money supremely fast, and then I have to remind myself that track itself is actually quite cheap. It's actually the tunnels and things that make it very expensive. Right, so in theory, if we did that, 3.3 grade with I don't like how sometimes it just desyncs from how far away your mouse is. Yeah, 3.3, and I really don't like how that turn is looking to be. I mean, look at that turn. That's not a good turn, and it's minus 3.4, and it's going to create a tunnel. So if we hit in here 3%, right click, curve on, grade on, and then like 250. Let's just quickly check. Yeah, 250 is kind of the biggest curve that I want to be, and it does that. So if we hit build, we're going to very quickly run out of money, but we suddenly have the curve that we want. Oh, interesting. It's not quite as bad as I thought it would be. If I now turn off curve and grade, that's a nice simple S-bend, which will be completed as soon as I have money. Let me go and grab some money. Okay, so I am back with 7,455 cash to try and see if that's enough to finish off this route towards the distillery. Yes, it is, by about 1,000, although this track looks like it's floating. Oh, never mind. I accidentally used the 15-foot ballast embankment, which was a perfect decision, because that means that the track's not accidentally floating. What I do want to see about doing currently is trying to get to this farm from the sandbar, because I cut the farm off because we weren't connected to it, and we were out of money, so we need to connect back up to the farm, and then we can get to the brickworks. However, we only have 6,101 cash right now, so I highly doubt that we will be able to get to the brickworks, and that might have to be a next episode thing potentially if we can't afford it. But I would quite like to get to the brickworks soon, because I currently am just dumping all of my clay in the depot, basically. I want to see how this curve looks from over here. That looks fine enough to connect them, however it does look expensive. We might need like 15 or 20,000 cash to connect this up. Yes. Actually, we did get most of the way there. Was there something else? I didn't actually read the gradient that I was going to construct at to do that, so let's just check what gradient it is. It's less than 1% gradient, which is perfectly fine. So now what we have to do is basically get the money for that, which shouldn't be too difficult, but we need the money for that, which we don't have right now, so let's get more money. I'm midway through trying to get a bunch of cash, and I've discovered these 14-ton open wagons, which store a lot more product than these wagons. So I was thinking that we could maybe put these wagons into the scrapyard, and then buy the 14-ton wagons instead, because they contain a lot more product, which means we can travel with more things per journey. So 478 scrap value. Assume you're also 478 scrap value, and then I can buy 2 of these, which has set me back down to 94 cash, but I think it's worth it because we can carry more of things like ores, cordwood, lumber. We can now carry. We can carry a lot of rum, sand, clay, grain, etc., which we couldn't carry nearly as much of, and in some of these cases at all with the old wagons. So gonna cut when I actually have some money, since I'm back down to 94 cash. Okay, so I'm back with 24,000 cash. I accidentally deleted the track that was originally inside the hill, so I'm just going to replace it here. Plump, and then plump, and so now we're down to 21,522 cash. And if we look at where the brickworks is, we need to build the brickworks industry. So really quickly, I'm just going to skip forward to time, because I've done this several times before on camera. Brickworks has been constructed, and now I am going to see what the track looks like if I just directly connect these two. You know what? This does actually look somewhat reasonable. What's the grade? It's about 1%, so we have 20,000 cash. Gonna hit place. We still have 20,056 cash. I'm also going to quickly just delete these industry guides. That was a lot cheaper than I was expecting it to be, but just trying to fly over here to see what we could connect up next. Something that I do want to do is fix the sandbar, because I drove the train over here in person to actually see... Oh, right, we're still on the floor. You can see here in the background, that is one steep hill. And the worst bit is that the bit from the farm, this bit is flat. So I'm going to quickly just delete all of this and then restart the sandbar using our 20k cash. Okay, it's a minus 3.6%, which is somewhat steep, but it is manageable. Now the thing is, we have 17,000 left. So what I might do is I might finish that piece of track off there. Just going to check, for curiosity's sake, what the line would look like towards distillery. It's a 3%, which isn't bad, but I think first what we could do is basically back to the depot, and at the depot here, considering purchasing something like the, not the locomotives, I was just checking those out earlier, something like one of the tank wagons, because I was having a look and these contain rum and grease, and we need to start selling grease. So I was thinking we purchase 2 of them, but we'll then maybe recolour them. Yeah, I think that looks okay, and I'm going to buy 2 of them because I've never needed more than 2 of them. Something else I was thinking about getting is these stake wagons, the 20-foot heavy stake wagons, because they are very versatile in what they can take, like ingots and other things, whereas the regular 17-foot not heavy stake wagon takes less logs and less other stuff. It is a bit difficult to see what I'm buying when there's other cars here, because I did actually get back to the depot. I'm only at the machine shop. A machine shop. We need iron at some point, so I was thinking maybe have a look at the cars that we've got, and then next episode, or the episode after, we start building to the iron mine. I don't remember having seen more than one iron mine on this map. Yeah, there's only one, which is going to be a little bit annoying to build to. For now we have the brickworks connected, and all of these industries, being the second forest camp, which is useful for cordwood, the ironworks, which isn't useful yet because we don't have iron, and the distillery, which, because of this grade, I keep derailing as soon as I get to the end of track. As well as the quarry, which I don't know if I connected this episode because this has been recorded over 3 days, and I should probably split it up and edit it now. Goodbye.